We turn to our New Testament lesson. I want to invite any kids who want to join me up front. I have something to show you. And Kathy, you want to come too? Let's hang out. Let me put this up first. I have something that's kind of sharp. What do you think it is? A cactus? Yeah, we're in Arizona. Of course it is. All right. All right. So, you see this? It's kind of, I guess it's technically 4 cacti. Is that right? Yeah, look at so. How old do you think this cactus is? Do you know? 1 year old? Okay, that's a pretty good guess because it's pretty small. Yeah? What do y'all think? 2 years old? The truth is, I don't actually know. So you might be right, you might be right. What did you learn about these cacti? Yes, thank you. So what she said was before cacti get large, and these are saguaros, they start out as seeds, and they spend a lot of time being very, very small. Do you know how many years it would take for these cacti? Of course, I can't keep them in this little pot. I'd have to move them somewhere else. Do you know how long it would take before they grow like taller than me and sprout arms? 44 years. This feels like yeah, no. That's not it. That's a good guess. You think 44? What do y'all think? 10 or 20? Okay. Anybody know how long or how old a saguaro has to be to turn to grow arms? 70. Yes, I know this because I went to the Desert Museum and they told me. But so the thing about a cactus, you don't have to really do a lot. You don't have to water it much. You don't have to do it, but because cacti just kind of do what they do. I am kind of sad that I'm probably not going to get to see this cactus grow up to be big and tall. I'm going to have to spend so many years looking at this tiny little thing that's not even going to change, and that makes me kind of like, ugh, because I want to see it to be cactus. The reason I'm talking about a cactus and that lesson that Bonnie read is because the Bible talks about life is full of change. And life does one thing 1 minute and then does another. And time is weird. Like, time drags on. You ever been somewhere and you're like, I cannot believe I've been here for forever. It's been only like 10 minutes. You've had that feeling? Church is like that sometimes, but it's true. Time is weird and life is full, like a lot of change. But what the saguaro reminds me is that even though life changes, even though time feels weird, our task as people who trust in God is to trust God with changes that we can see. That kind of like the saguaro, I know it's going to grow bigger. I know it's going to, because things are happening underneath the rocks. Things are happening inside the cactus that I can't see, but I know, I trust that the cactus is going to grow up. I think life is like that. I think we have to remember that God is at work even when we can't see, that things are so much bigger than us, that things, even though they're changing, we trust that God is always in the midst of it working. Now that's what we have to do over 10 years, 44 years, 70 years, however long we have on this planet. We have to trust God with the changes of life, trusting that even though we can't see everything, we know that it's going to be okay. And one thing that helps me at least trust and remember to trust is to pray. So do y'all do repeat after me prayers here? Okay, good. Well, I'll invite everyone to join us in prayer. So bow your heads and repeat after me. Dear God, time is kind of weird. And life is filled with so many changes. In the midst of all these changes, help me to trust you. Help me to believe that you are always at work, even in ways I cannot see. Amen. Thanks, everybody. I'm sorry to say, look at this one thing. When I drove this over here, one of these little cacti uprooted, so it's not going to grow at all. But stuff happens. There we go. Thanks for playing along. Enjoy Children's Church.